Hi, fight fans, and welcome back to LL Sports TV. Hope you're all doing well. Now, question for you. Has anyone seen or heard of Javonte Tank Davis recently? Yes, I'm talking about Javonte Tank Davis, unbeaten in 31 fights, three-weight world champion, the current WBA lightweight champion of the world, and one of the best boxers in the world, pound for pound, most people would say. But he seems to have gone AWOL. Is he still active? Is he retired? Exactly what is going on in the mind of the enigma that is Javonte Tank Davis. Because no one seems to know for sure right now. But what we do know is that Javonte Tank Davis has been involved in several legal and professional issues recently. Let's start with the legal issues. So on the 11th of July, 2025, my birthday, by the way, Tank Davis was arrested in Florida on domestic violence charges. This stemmed from an alleged incident on Father's Day in June, in America, in June, where he reportedly got into an incident with an ex-girlfriend of his who has a child for him. They got into a physical altercation. According to police reports, Tank Davis was picking up his child, got into an argument with his ex-girlfriend, ended up hitting her on the back of the head, slapped her in her face, causing a cut to her lip. Got to say as well that this is not the first time that Tank has been involved in such domestic violence issues. In December 2022, he was arrested on a similar charge, although those charges were later dropped. In 2020, he was charged with simple battery after a separate incident with an ex-girlfriend. And in 2023, Tank Davis pleaded guilty to 4 traffic offences stemming from a 2020 hit and run crash in Baltimore, which injured 4 people. Now, he served 90 days house arrest for that and was ordered to perform community service. With regards to his professional boxing career, his most recent fight was back in March 2025 against Lamont Roach Jr., a title defense. That resulted in a controversial majority draw. It was a fight that many expected. Many people were looking at it as a bit of a routine defense for Javonte Tank Davis. I thought that was a little disrespectful to Lamont Roach Jr., who is a good fighter in his own right. But many people expected Tank Davis to win that fight and win comfortably. But on the night, Tank Davis underperformed. He appeared to take his opponent lightly. He was loading up with punches, over-reliant on the knockout, and didn't box well at all. Many people thought he should have lost the fight, actually. I mean, there was an incident during that fight as well, where I think it was round 9 or something like that. But anyway, there was an incident in that fight where Javonte Davis got hit with a jab or a grazing punch. He took a knee. It was not counted as a knockdown by the referee. Tank Davis claimed that he had hair grease in his eyes, but it should have been counted as a knockdown. And the way the scorecards configured at the end of the fight, if that knockdown had been scored, then Tank Davis would have lost the fight. So he was very lucky to get out of that fight with a draw. I personally saw the fight, and I agree that he was fortunate to get out of that fight with a draw. I thought Lamont Roach did enough to take the title. Anyway, after that fight, Tank Davis, as you could imagine, he took a lot of criticism. Now, someone like Tank Davis, very sensitive guy, big ego, didn't take too well to the criticism, got into a lot of Twitter or X beefs with fans, with fighters, current fighters, ex-fighters, pundits, you name it. Got into a lot of back and forths with them. And yeah, since then, not really seen or heard too much of him from that. I mean, a rematch was scheduled. It was supposed to have taken place in the month of August. We're in August now. That's obviously not going to happen. But there are reports now saying that Tank Davis is retiring, or he's expressed to a lot of people close to him that he's lost his passion for the sport, that he's fed up with the sport, and that he won't fight again. Although he's not officially come out and said that, but that's what we're hearing. One of Tank Davis's trainers, Kenny Ellis, I've seen a comment from him recently where he's refuted that claim. He's called it fake news, but we've not heard anything from Tank Davis. As I said, it seems to have gone AWOL. But yeah, many people think that he's going to retire. I've heard some ex-boxers, Tim Bradley, for one, he said publicly that he thinks Tank Davis has checked out and he won't be in the ring anytime soon. Now, what do I think? I mean, based on the available information that we have, which isn't, too, we can't. There's been no confirmation, I guess is the word I'm looking for. But based on what I'm seeing and what I'm hearing, and from what I know about Tank Davis as a person, I think he probably would benefit from taking a long break from boxing. And when I say a long break, a long sustained break from boxing, I think Tank Davis's recent pattern of behavior is not only damaging to his public image and him as a person, you can see that it's clearly impacting on his ability to focus on his career. I mean, Tank Davis, I don't know if you know his story, but he had a bit of a troubled upbringing, drug addicted parents, father not in his life, very tough upbringing in Baltimore. He's talked about that previously. He's talked about his struggles with mental health and the pressures of fame. He's also acknowledged that he has issues, and he said previously that he wanted to step back from boxing and take time for personal growth and try and focus on being a better man. He's also spoke about receiving therapy. And I think that the constant demands on his career, as well as the person issues he's been dealing with, I think that that's led to a loss of momentum. I think you could see that in the Lamont Roach Jr. fight, where he didn't perform well. And I think that combined, with the legal issues he's currently going through, I don't think he's in the right mental state to continue with boxing right now, if I'm being honest. I think what he needs to do is take a long, sustained break away from boxing, get some help to deal with his mental issues, and focus on becoming a better person. Because if he doesn't, I think he could implode in a bad way, and it could end up with him either hurting those around him or even hurting himself. I really think it could be getting that bad. He clearly has issues. I think he needs to take a long and sustained break away from boxing, get the professional help that I think would allow him to address those issues. And if he wants to return to the sport at a later date, then obviously he could do so. And try and focus on becoming a better person. And that would allow him to return to the sport with a renewed focus and become a better boxer, ultimately. But yeah, more importantly than boxing, I think what he needs to do is take some time out from the sport and try and focus on becoming a better person, because I'd have to say the way he's going right now, it's not a good look either for himself or the people around him. But that's my view. I'd love to know what you guys think. Please let me know in the comments. If you're new to the channel, please like, share and subscribe. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you on the next one. I'm out.